What's going on, internet? What's going on, YouTube? Thank you very much for tuning in once again. And if you're new, welcome. I am Ty So Fly. I stream on YouTube about 6 days a week. You can see what games I stream in my About Me, but that's enough for me. Today we're going to be talking about something that I'm interested in. That's why whenever I do a different kind of video like this, because normally I just upload like stream highlights and stuff like that. Whenever I upload a video like this, it's because I'm interested in it. I want to talk about it. And what I'm talking about today is Islands of Nyne Battle Royale. We're going to be going over a lot of stuff. We're going to be going over an interview that one of the co-founders did. It was about an hour-long interview that I listened to the whole thing. Dedication. We're going over what the basis of the game is, in case you don't know, in case you don't know what the game is, in case you just heard about it and you want to know a little more about it. And we're going to be going over how the game died, how the game lost its player base, and how it can be resurrected. So without further ado, I am Ty So Fly. I hope you don't notice the pimple that's above my lip, but I just said something, so I guess you do notice it now. Let's get right into it. Islands of Nyne Battle Royale. It is a sci-fi battle royale game. That's the way that's the way I see. I see it's very sci-fi. It's kind of got like a little backstory that they announced that it's basically like aliens captured humans, and they put old style guns but also futuristic guns, on the battlefield, and they're forced to kill each other. Why they would automatically kill each other, I don't know. Maybe there's a little more to it that I haven't read up on. But it is a first-person shooter. It began on Steam Early Access on July 12th of this year, 2018. It is developed and published by Define Human Studios. And, they did publish their own game. That was a big talking point that they, that they had in the interview with BigFryTV. I'll get more on him about later. They had a big debate with themselves whether they should pay, because it costs a lot of money to publish a game through a publisher. But if you just do it yourself, it's much more cost efficient. So that's what they ultimately decided to do. But then again, they didn't get the advertisement, stuff like that. So the co-founders are Jake Tolton and Rob Logan. Those are the two guys that created the game. They are the head of the game at Define Human Studios. They use the Unreal Engine 4, and the influences of the game, per Rob Logan, are CSGO and Halo. I definitely get the Halo vibe out. CSGO, not so much. I guess kind of the shooting aspects, maybe a little bit. But Halo, I definitely see that. I can 100% see, why that happened. So the basis of this video is the interview that Rob Logan, the co-founder, did with BigFryTV. BigFryTV is a successful YouTuber. I'm going to put the link to the interview in the description and the link to his channel in the description. Go check him out. He's a fabulous YouTuber. He knows what he's doing. Big guy. He's up there. They did about an hour-long interview based off another video that BigFryTV did about Islands of Nyne. The title of the video is basically what happened to the game. And Rob Logan saw the video. He reached out to him and said, hey, I'd like to talk to you about my game and kind of get the word out there. Well, I think that was a great decision by Mr. Rob Logan. It was great for BigFryTV. It's great for me because that's why I'm making this video. So great all around. I think that was a good decision by Rob Logan to reach out and tell people about what's going on, because we have no idea. For us that bought the game in early access, we spent the $30. We don't know what's going on. We can't get in the game. We can't play the game. There's no updates happening. And so I think that was good. So one of the interesting things that he said in that interview, he said many interesting things, but one of the ones that caught my eye, and I wrote down here in my notes, were that they have a 12-person staff. Wow, that's small. It is an indie game after all, isn't it? And only 6 of those 12 are full-time. So there you go. That explains everything about why the game has not progressed as we thought it would. Sometimes you just don't know exactly how small of a staff it is. You assume that it's like this big like office type studio where they got like multiple floors and shit like that. But no, indie games are like that. That is the reality of them. And they either take off hugely or they don't, and they got to like kind of reevaluate the situation and continue on. And that's exactly what they're doing right now. So what I want to talk about first is what happened at launch. At launch, the servers were not working very well. They acknowledged that. It took some time. They fixed it. No problem. But yeah, they had like players, like if you would jump up, like you would not come down. Like you're just flying in the air, basically. There were all sorts of problems. At launch, they announced very early on that they're interested in esports competition for this game. That's not exactly the vibe I get off this game right now. I guess because perhaps like the player base isn't as good. Yeah, but the more players that play it, the player base will obviously get better. I know whenever I played, I was getting wrecked, though, so I guess I shouldn't say anything because I'm absolutely getting wrecked. I want to talk about some of the YouTubers and streamers that, freely advertised this game. They endorsed it. They played the game at launch. I want to start with Stone Mountain 64. Stone Mountain 64 is a very popular YouTuber. He's been doing it for years. He's the #1 streamer on Facebook. He's nominated for Streamer of the Year by Esports, and he was the first one I saw that played the game. He seemed to like it. He was having fun. The game dropped off. He stopped playing it. Simple as that. Shroud was absolutely the biggest person that played this game, and he very much endorsed it. He said he liked it because it felt like a skilled shooter, which I agree. I think it definitely does. Where maybe that's where they get the CSGO vibes from, because it actually does take skill to shoot. It's a first-person shooter. You know, there's drop, there's bullet drop. You know, there's all kinds of attachments that come into play. Good stuff. So Shroud playing the game, big boost right there. Helped the game out tremendously. Jack Frags is a very big YouTuber. He's primarily a Battlefield YouTuber, but he did play this game quite a few times as well. He has a huge audience. So again, any kind of one that has a huge audience that's reaching out and playing that game, that's free advertisement right there. So they got to be ecstatic with that. Dr. Disrespect, you all know him. I mean, for him to play that game, that's just huge. That's just as big as Shroud. 5Tat played it, Aculite played it, and Jason RRR played it. All three also very big, very into skilled shooters. And they, again, free advertised games because they're not sponsoring these streams. They've never done that. And that was actually a question that BigFryTV asked Rob Logan, was that, hey, would you be interested in sponsored streams for streamers? The answer was basically, it was a polite way of saying, yes, we'd like to do that, but we don't have the money. So that's the reality of that. Rob Logan, he said in the interview that they probably should have gone with a publisher at launch, but they wanted full control of the gaming company, and you got to respect that. For something that this is their baby, this is like their first game that Define Human Studios is making on their own. They're trying to come up and become, a big studio and, make this a successful game. The Battle Royale market is huge. They wanted to tap into that. It's got a different feel. I will admit, it's not just the same Battle Royale that you're seeing. It's very different, and I do like it, and I wish it would come back. I think it will. Spoiler. They wanted full control of the game company. You got to respect that. It's their game. They want to do what they want to do. I respect it. But yeah, the interview was about an hour long. I very much encourage you guys to just kind of skim through it, watch it. It was a very good interview. I respect Rob Logan a lot more, and it gave me an insight to what indie game companies go through, how they're trying to get the game to explode and come up. It's not that easy. There's the game market is so flooded right now, especially on PC. We have all these wonderful options on PC. It's very difficult. So they released a recent dev blog, which was something like when I saw they released a dev blog, I was clicking on that instantly because they do not release many of those. They don't communicate socially as much as they probably should because again, they're small. But they released a dev blog and it was a very important one for me. This is pretty much going to decide the game's fate, in my opinion. This came at about the end of October, first week of November. They announced that there's going to be a free-to-play weekend at the end of November. So, assumingly a Saturday and a Sunday, they might throw Friday in there. Who knows? So we'll see how that happens. Free-to-play weekend, that's always it's obvious that's always a fantastic way to get the game going. Get people want to play it. It's free. Why not? Try it out. See if you like it. The first major update will be coming November 29th. This is like the first actually overhaul of the game where they're actually making a lot of fixes and new content though. That's the thing. If you want a Battle Royale game to continue to progress, you need content to be new. You can't just roll out the same game, PUBG, I'm looking at you, and not upload anything. The player base will obviously drop, no matter how good of a game it is, and on the base way. So the update's going to include hoverboards. That's the first kind of transportation system that this game is seeing. I think that's important. I think it's cool. We'll see if there's any bugs in it. I'm sure there will be. We'll see how that is. Hoverboards, cool. Excited for it. A new character class system. There's going to be 3 to choose from, and they each have specific gadgets. So, character class system, it works. You see it in Call of Duty. You see it in Black Ops. You see it in Star Wars Battlefront 2, whatever. Battlefield. The character class system, it works. I think that's a good decision. Each has specific gadgets. That's going to make it more fun. If you might recognize the other class, you can be like, oh, I know they have that gadget, so I got to watch out for that, etc., etc. So this is one thing that I definitely want to talk about. The price is going to drop 60% to $10. It was $30 at launch. It's going to drop to $10, and that's a permanent change. So players that paid full, not me. Define Human Studios, okay. Not me, but some of them are very pissed. I've seen some comments on Twitter and Facebook. They're very pissed. That's a full $30, and they're basically just getting a thank you for buying the game at launch and supporting the game. That's pretty much all that is. They're dropping it to $10 because they need players to play the game. The last time I played it, I went on Steam and I looked. The last time I played it was September 26th, so going on about a month and a half. I tried to play, and I could not get in a full lobby. The most full lobby I think I got in was 7 players. That's not good. And I was in a pregame lobby for 20 minutes that ultimately started a game with 4 players. What is that? what is it? I understand, like, it's supposed to be a fast-paced game anyways, but 4 players, that's just not going to cut it. You need players to play the game. If you go on Social Blade and everything, you know, there's not many people playing this game at all. I had, like, an all-time low, you know, a few weeks ago. It said something like, it was in, like, the single digits for, like, a day. It was, like, it was, like, a Monday or something. It was in the single digits. That is absolutely horrendous. But you know what? I have faith. The thing I want to add is that the community, you know, they want to play the game, but they can't. But you know what? You know, they're doing work to try this with this update. They're trying to add content. They're trying to get players into the game so that way you can get in the game quickly without having to wait long and get a full game in. So they're gonna have dev hosted tournaments coming soon. That's pretty. I mean, that's a pretty good idea. You can't go wrong with that. Dev hosted tournaments. People want to win tournaments. You know, if there's a cash prize involved, that'll be cool too. That'll definitely kick off the whole esports thing. Which he said they are still planning on. They want a esports. You know, because there is a lot of money in that. They want a esports background. They want that to kickstart. So we're still a ways away from that for this game. We need players to play the base game first and establish a player base. But that definitely a good idea. Dev host tournaments, thumbs up for me. Another thing they're adding is you can get a chance to get a rare skin from an in-game supply drop. That's something we've never really seen in a battle royale, is to get an in-game skin from a supply drop. It encourages you to go for supply drops. So that'll be some cool gunfights going on. Those are some of the best gunfights in battle royales, in my opinion. And another one is if you kill a dev in game, where I don't know if he said this would be included in the dev hosted tournaments, like if they're playing in their own tournaments, or if they just happen to be playing the game and then you kill them, then you can get a cool skin from killing them, is what he said. So that's very interesting. But yeah, this game, I think it definitely has a chance to come back from the dead and rise up and be a popular battle royale, especially at, you know, free to play weekend and $10 price drop coming up. Or, well, it's a 60% price drop going to $10. But there's so much competition right now. We're in the midst of the hot gaming season. I mean, Black Ops just come out, Battlefield's coming out. Battlefield's Battle Royale is going to launch in March. You have a lot of other Battle Royale options. Realm Royale is free. Fortnite is free. Ring of Elysium is free. And to me, all three are better games than Islands of Nyne. H1Z1 is free. That one's not a better game than Islands of Nyne. Sorry, it's not. But I think it's a tremendous game, Islands of Nyne. I think it brings a different twist to the Battle Royale genre, the first-person shooter genre. And you know what? It's got my endorsement. I hope it comes back. So that's going to be the end of the video. Like, share, subscribe. Like I said, I stream 6 days a week. If you were interested, you can watch all the games I play on a weekly basis. I have fun. I'm not very good, but you know what? I have fun. And thank you very much. And until next time, peace from the Southeast.